It is the Riot Podcast. Hello, welcome to Wednesday.
Woo.
Did you hear that? Well, I guess if you're listening to the podcast intro, it's not unusual to hear Isaiah. He's always joins us.
I'm always in here.
Yeah, but do you hear? Wait, hold on, everybody listen. You hear what you don't hear? Does that make sense? Do you hear what you don't hear?
There's something not there. We're missing something.
Missing. It's Nikki. She's not here today.
No Nikki.
No Nikki, but so it's just Isaiah and I. So it's a different take, a more manly take on the Riot today. Some might say, and we had a good time, right?
It was good. You know, it was a bit sweaty. It smelled a little bit different here, but it still was good.
Yeah, still just as cold.
It was still just as freezing cold in here.
Yeah, but there's a lot of hot air to go around.
Oh yeah.
So we for sure on the podcast today. I know that we have to have some stuff about asking Isaiah questions as we get to know him more, because if you're on the podcast, you may only hear Isaiah like once or twice.
Yeah, normally. You don't hear me much.
So this is a big opportunity for you to get to know him. And so we asked a lot of questions that listeners like you may have texted in during the show. But if you texted in during the show and then you heard your answer on the show and then you're now listening to the podcast, you must really be obsessed with yourself.
Yeah, you must you're like, let me go back and find where they said my question.
Remember when I asked that question? It was great.
It was such a good question. Oh my gosh.
I'm assuming if you're listening, you probably missed the show, and so you missed your question getting asked, but you can hear what other people ask.
Yeah, there's a lot of good questions here, a lot of good stuff, and we talk about Marvel and all kinds of my favorite fast food order and stuff, and so it's all kinds of good stuff.
That was the hot topic, is people wanted to know what you think about Marvel movies.
I love them. Yeah. I love them.
Well,
you'll hear more of that later.
Spoiler alert, but we try not to spoil any Marvel stuff.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we'll skip all that, but we do also hear about a man who got in some trouble.
Okay.
And when I say some trouble, I mean 120 years of trouble for making
Wait, don't say it.
Not much money.
Yes, that's right. He didn't make a lot of money. The crime was, you won't be able to guess what the crime was. If you were thinking 120 years in prison, what could that possibly be for?
He didn't kill anybody.
Nope. That's right. He didn't, as far as we know.
As far as we know, he did not kill anyone.
Not at least why he's potentially going to jail for 120 years. So you will find out. And so in the meantime, until you hear that break, you can just play a little guessing game in your mind of what somebody would have to do to go to jail for 120 years.
We also took a trip in Chicago. Okay. And I asked Hudson, I said, would you be comfortable going out in public just fully nude?
And I'd be surprised. You know what? I almost want to do a naked thing. You know what I mean? Like go to a naked gathering and be naked just to see what it's like.
Just to be naked out in public? I don't think that's something that I need to do before I die. It's just not one of those things.
I don't know. I just what if it actually is all it's cracked up to be?
I mean, I feel like the breeze might feel nice, but that's pretty much it.
You'd have to be. The thing is, with being naked, a lot of times the reason I wear clothes is not because of society. It's just because I want to feel warmer.
Okay, yeah.
So, or again, avoid being sunburned or something.
Yeah, the sunburn could be an issue.
Yeah, it's not always the freedom part of it. So it'd have to be the perfect weather. But there is a part of me that's like, what if the naked gatherings are actually a lot of fun and it actually is good to be naked?
I feel like once you got past the initial nakedness, once you're out there and you've been out for 5 minutes, for the first 5 minutes will be tough. After that, you're just like, well, I mean, everybody's already seen me now.
Right.
I'm out here now. Everybody else is doing the same thing.
What I do wonder is, with the naked gatherings, if you just went as a person who's never done one before, it's all about no judgment, right? Hey, we're all just naked. Why would we judge one another's bodies? But what if they judge you for not being a full-time, you're a
newbie.
Yeah, a newbie nudie.
You got to mess with the rookie.
Yeah, right. What do they do to you? I don't know, but how do they haze the nudists?
So go.
What is their initiation into the nudist community?
I don't even want to know. Going from nude to possibly no longer nude. OnlyFans is doing some different stuff.
Yeah, they're switching it up.
They are not trying to be what you think they'd be.
They're making a real rebrand, although it still seems that they don't want to leave the nudity behind.
No.
They just want to emphasize other aspects of their personality.
We have nudity, and then we also have this over here, too.
Yeah.
It's not just all nude.
They're making a career change in a way.
Yeah.
And I guess some might say it's admirable. But I don't know. I still feel that you brought up a great point that it's if if I was on OnlyFans at work and I tried to be like, no, it's just this other thing that they do. It's not the thing you're thinking of. I don't know that a lot of people would buy into that.
No, I would not buy into that.
So I guess that's all to say. OnlyFans has a long way to go to really change how we feel, how we think of them.
Oh, yeah, big time. They have some work ahead of them.
Yeah, well, that's all on the podcast today. And in keeping with what we did on the podcast during the show, we have already talked too long. So let's just get out of here. Like, rate, review, subscribe, unsubscribe, and we'll catch you later.
Goodbye.
Bye, Isaiah.
Goodbye.
It's the Riot.
If you missed out on the next Riot moment when it originally aired, you don't know how lucky you are. You're listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Yeah.
I'm not taking Nikki's spot,
Okay.
but I'm in here for today, everybody. So everybody can calm down. Nikki will be coming back.
Yeah.
We've already gotten the text in of where's Nikki at, but I will be in here for today. Nikki will be back tomorrow.
That didn't take long for when I posted on the RadioU socials yesterday for people to start going, wait, what happened to Nikki? Where is she going? Why won't she be here? It's because she's just taking a day off. It's fine. We will let you know if Nikki's leaving. It's not going to be, I guess, unless like something horrible happens, as in like she's canceled, which I don't know how.
I don't think that would happen ever.
No, of all the people, Nikki's the last one. But if that were to happen, I think that other than that happening, I should say, it will be a long, elaborate post about all the years of service and how great Nikki is. Other than that, we're not just going to go, Isaiah's taking over.
Isaiah's in for today.
That's not going to be the way it rolls out. So
yeah.
So don't worry about that. And if you do though, because Isaiah's this is his first time filling in. He's done the news and stuff like that already for a while now, getting his feet wet there. But if you want to get to know him a little more outside of just the news he reports on, what a great day to do it today. Text in at 8772-RADIO-U or get on the RadioU socials and get a question in. Now, one thing we do know about Isaiah is he's a man like myself that loves a good hot dog.
Love a good hot dog.
Of course. Or a bad hot dog at Dime a Dog Night.
Oh, yeah.
Either way, you'll eat it.
Oh, yeah, of course.
But we have to take this warning here that a bunch of hot dogs have been recalled, and that is due to a possible listeria or salmonella contamination. Did I say hot dogs? I mean hot dog buns.
Oh, my goodness. Well, you think about hot dogs, they're like the one food that you have no idea what's inside of it.
Uh-huh.
So if they're getting recalled, it must be a serious thing.
That's right. Well, the hot dogs are okay, as far as we know. I mean, they're not worse than normal anyway.
Yeah.
But the hot dog buns that are made by Hostess, those are the ones, the hot dog and hamburger buns that are going to be recalled, which just makes me breathe a sigh of relief because I would never go for that expensive a hot dog bun.
Yes.
Would you?
No chance. If I'm getting a hot dog bun, it's just like the regular Kroger brand.
Yeah, you're getting store brand all the way.
Oh, yeah. Because the bun's important, but I mean, the hot dog's the most important part.
You can't even tell the difference between like how much is a fancy Hostess hot dog bun going to elevate your hot dog?
Not very much.
It's not. That's not what you're eating the hot dog for.
And like when you think about it too, like you're putting ketchup on it anyway.
Right.
If you're putting mustard on it, like that almost like wipes out like the bread. I mean, I'm never going to eat just a hot dog.
Right.
Like I always have to have a bun. There's people who just do the hot dog with the ketchup. I don't do that.
There's a word for those people.
Yeah, it's
insane.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I could never do it without a bun, but the bun is not the most important part.
No, the bun is just a convenient carrying case for the hot dog. It's all it is. So you don't need to go spend the big bucks. I don't know how much the Hostess brand hot dog buns cost.
Probably like $3.
Yeah.
Big bucks.
Hey, it adds up
when
you're buying as much hot dog buns as we do.
Exactly.
You can't afford to go for that many hot dog buns.
Worst of the Riot podcast.
You don't want to know someone who's hurting heavy?
Let's hear it.
His name is, yes, it is a man. His name is Tang Zhao of Chicago. He's hurting because he's facing a whole lot of prison time.
Come on, Tang.
Yeah. What are you doing, man?
120 years?
Yeah. So
what?
120 years for Tang.
Who did he kill?
He didn't kill anybody, but you could argue that he was leading to people's death in a very indirect way. What he was doing was selling. What? No, you can. Because
I guess you're right.
What he was doing was selling the CDC COVID vaccine cards. So counterfeit card, or I mean, they might have been real cards, just not with real vaccine information that had been filled out by somebody who was administering a vaccine. So he was selling these on eBay for about $10 a pop.
Oh my gosh.
He sold around 125, and I guess you get about a year for every COVID vaccine card you sell, apparently.
Oh my gosh. On eBay? Come on,
eBay.
Tang. You know you're going to get caught doing it on eBay.
I think eBay should be held liable. How can they allow this to happen?
Like they saw that on there, and you're selling for $10 a pop?
As somebody who, my wife sells on eBay all the time, eBay will take down anything. They're not very, like, if they see a picture that they don't like, they're like, okay,
take it down.
That's it. And we also want to suspend your account. And that's what eBay does. So the fact that they allowed 120 cards, COVID vaccine cards, to be listed doesn't reflect so well on them and their policies.
No, not at all.
It also sure doesn't reflect well on Tang Tang.
I wonder what he had it under. I wonder if it was under, like, fake vaccination
code
cards.
Words, yeah,
or like what it was under, and like $10 a piece. These had to be terrible. There's no way that these would pass. Like if you're gonna at least get a good one, it had to be at least $50.
See, I'm thinking that they could have just been photocopies. If you have a vaccine card, they aren't very hard to counterfeit. That's, I guess, one of the problems with them. They're pretty simple and straightforward, and for some reason don't fit in your credit card slot in your wallet, which would be so helpful.
Oh yeah,
but they're not that elaborate. So, and I'm, again, looking at this story, he may have actually had access to real vaccine cards, and he just took them from, like, stole them from the office and took them home. And so that's where he was getting them. And so then it's just up to people to fill them in themselves.
Yeah.
To see how realistic they would be. But for $10 a pop,
you can't beat that.
That is a steal, actually.
You cannot beat that.
It's literally a steal. So,
I don't understand why he would make it so low, though. I would definitely be selling it for at least $50 because he's risking.
Why would he make it so low? Why? Because you can get the vaccine for free.
Yeah, you're right.
But spending $10 is that's as much as anybody will pay to avoid getting the vaccine, apparently.
But for Tang Tang, like, he's facing 120 years.
Yeah.
That seems a little bit aggressive.
It does feel like there are people out there who have murdered other men.
And not gotten that many years.
They're walking free. And this guy's going
He's trying to make an easy buck.
Up to 120 years. Now, you would think that they might be the kind of thing where it's served concurrently. You know, where he'll get 120 years, but he has 120 concurrent sentences, so it only is a year or something like that. But I don't know how many concurrent sentences you can serve.
If he's in prison for 120 years, that is literally insane. I mean, he's just trying to make a quick buck, you know? They're $10 a piece. It was a great deal.
Yeah, what's the big deal?
And eBay let him do it. It's not his fault, you know?
Anytime you have like a news story where it's somebody that did a crime and then the crime of the punishment is way over the crime, it all of a sudden sounds like you're just defending. Like, come on!
Yeah, it wasn't that bad, right?
Yeah, what's the big deal about selling drugs? You think he should be locked up for 500 years for selling drugs?
Exactly. He killed one guy. 1,000 years.
Yeah, right. Why are we gonna lock him up for that long?
Store at room temperature. Now that they can do. The Riot RadioU.
So Hudson, have you ever considered, like, just going out and riding your bike just completely naked?
If I had a bike, sure.
Because that's literally what they did in Chicago. There was a world naked bike ride.
Okay.
And
wait, I missed it?
You missed it. Yeah, if you had a bike.
It's always such a great event.
Anybody could have went. It was over like 1,000 people went, but it was literally just a bunch of naked people riding their bikes through Chicago. Really? I don't know why people do this, but for whatever reason, I mean, they have like the photographs. Thankfully, they're censored because there's some people that are wearing like underwear and stuff. Yeah. And then there's like 75-year-old men. There's like 25-year-olds. I mean, it's the whole men, women, and everybody's just butt naked.
That's the beauty of it. It's everybody coming together. It's the freedom. It's just like, hey, we're all the same. This is just like the day we were born.
Like, what would push you to do it? I don't understand. Like, why?
The freedom.
Like, I don't get it, though. Like, why would you want to be naked? Like, maybe, like, if you want to be naked, like, laying around your house or something by yourself, like, be comfortable, whatever, feel free. But, like, on a bicycle, I feel like that'd be uncomfortable.
Actually, a bike does feel like it would be one of the worst places to be naked.
Yes, absolutely.
I think I could handle a lot of other activities naked. I don't know that I would really want the gaze of others upon me being naked, but I could just, it's not... Functionally, I think I could do a lot of things naked, but riding a bike is not one of them. I think that would be very physically uncomfortable trying to manage actually riding a bike. And I don't know, anytime you're out naked, you're risking sunburn and mosquito bites everywhere. And that's something you really have to consider.
Yeah, and because there's always like doing this naked, doing going to the naked beach, doing a naked bike ride.
Well, yeah, the beach is one thing, right?
I feel like the beach is almost one of the worst places.
You do?
Sand? Like, we're talking about mosquito bites in places. Sand.
But you get sand no matter how much clothes you wear.
That's true.
Actually, you could argue it's worse the more clothes you have on where the sand will get.
I do agree with that because then it gets all, bunched up. And
right. Yeah. Maybe if you're naked and if you're at the beach, it just falls off.
It's just a little more free to go, I guess.
It has places to go.
But they're always like, oh, I want to feel free or whatever. Like, I don't need to walk around naked to feel free. If I want to feel free, I'll wear athletic shorts and no underwear. That's a free day for me. Whoa, I'm crazy. But I don't need to walk around naked. I'm going to stand up for myself and do this naked bike ride or whatever because I love my body. I love my body so much, so I'm just going to kind of keep it to myself, you know?
It is interesting the activities that the nudist community or the naturist community chooses.
You know what? And if you're doing that, good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you.
I hope we're very popular in the nudist community.
I support it. You want to go out naked? I'm not going to stop you from doing that. That's perfectly fine. Whatever, do your bike ride. Just know that I will not be a part of your bike ride, of your naked bike ride.
Are you going to be horrified if you happen to be in Chicago and you happen to be standing where the parade of naked bicyclists go through? Are
That's
you
a good question.
Be covering your eyes?
See, I don't know what that would. I would just be in so much shock. I feel like it would be. I don't even know. I'd feel kind of invaded. I don't know. I'd be driving by and just be like, "What the heck is happening?"
I think it could be the worst thing because I think I would just maybe start laughing. What are the odds type thing that this is where I wind up? And the people that are out on their naked bikes, they don't want to be laughed at.
Yeah, they're taking it. They're definitely taking it serious. They're all in the pictures and stuff. They've all got cool stuff on. I guess accessories, like beads, and they're wearing paint and stuff, and they paint their body. So it's their
That's
thing.
That's the weird part to me is the body paint. By the way, I actually once did show up. It was in the Keys, the Florida Keys, and there was I was still a minor. And I wound up at a park where there was a bunch of nudists. And it was the body paint on old to young. That was what made me just go, oh, what?
Yeah, the body paint looks interesting.
Why aren't you just naked? If you want to be naked, why are you painting?
Yeah, there's paint all over everybody.
Arts and crafts? What's going on?
There's paint all over everybody. They've got all these accessories. I don't even know.
The Riot promise is that they'll always have an opinion on everything they talk about. But that doesn't mean any of their opinions will make sense. This is The Riot on RadioU.
But we do want to get some questions in so we can really get to know Isaiah. There's only so much you can know when you're unbiasedly reporting the news. So we want to get to know you more as a person.
Of course.
As a radio host, as a man. So let's get some questions in for Isaiah, and we'll ask those in a few. 8772 RadioU. I do know that we've got new Girl Scout cookies available, or at least they're coming, and I'm assuming that that's something that you can get behind.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The only thing with Girl Scout cookies is I feel like I never know. I never know when Girl Scout cookie season is.
Well,
I'm never prepped.
Conveniently, that's actually mentioned in this article.
Thank goodness.
And I didn't know either, but it is January through April. Did you know? So
I had no idea. I literally had no idea. You just walk into the store and then one day it's just there.
You can't
never plan for it.
Girl Scout season. But eventually, all of a sudden, you just see them with their little tables set up and they start accosting you at the grocery store.
Of course,
and,
yes.
And you have to buy some.
So what's the new flavor looking like?
What we have here is called the Adventureful. Which I love the name.
Good name. Good name.
You're going to go on an adventure with this new Girl Scout cookie.
Adventureful.
It is a brownie-inspired cookie.
Okay.
And honestly, I can describe it to you. I don't know that describing it is as good as actually seeing what it looks like because it looks amazing.
Does it look good?
But it is a brownie-inspired cookie. It has a hint of sea salt and caramel-flavored cream in the middle. Here's something we need to know about you. Do you say caramel or caramel?
Caramel.
Oh, no.
Caramel?
It's caramel.
What do you mean it's caramel?
Can you spell it?
I can see the word, but that doesn't mean you sound out every single letter.
Yes, it does.
Caramel.
Caramel.
It's caramel.
It's caramel.
That's odd.
And this is a debate. I get caught up on pronunciation sometimes.
I can tell, yeah.
As you probably well know.
Yeah.
So let's leave that aside.
The caramel looks very good. It looks very good.
That I feel that I can strong arm people into pronouncing things the way I want them to, just by being the one that's more upset about it. So thank you for pronouncing it the correct way.
The I'm a big fan of brownies, but this looks really, really good. What
I wonder is every other Girl Scout cookie, they're all very crunchy, right?
Yeah.
So what I'm concerned with is
soft
this
one.
Is this actually soft?
It has to be.
It's a brownie inspired. It has to be, right?
If it's hard, then it won't be good.
No, there's
no chance.
That's what I'm saying. So that is my concern. But man, the picture looks absolutely heavenly. I'll go on an adventure with a box of those. That's for sure.
The last radio station I worked at actually had a funny story about Girl Scouts.
Oh no.
Because I was talking about on air one day that they have these new Girl Scout cookies and that there's a bunch of, I think there was too many Girl Scouts or Girl Scout cookies or something. And when you're on the air,
you can never have too many Girl Scout cookies.
Exactly. But when you're on the air, every now and then you kind of leave a word out when you're talking. And typically isn't a big deal.
Yeah.
But this time I said, I was like, oh my gosh, if they want to come over and drop off the cookies, I would absolutely love that because I just love Girl Scouts.
Oh, no.
But I meant to say was I just love Girl Scout cookies. Yeah. And so I got a little bit of backlash there because they were like, you just love Girl Scouts.
Did you get canceled at your former station?
No, but I think the only person that noticed, because probably the only person that was listening was my dad. And he texted me, he's like, that got kind of weird there. That was kind of weird. But other than that, nobody else came at me.
What I've found in radio is people are more forgiving, whether it's because they just understand or, they understand that when you're talking so much and it's all off the cuff, you're going to misspeak sometimes. But also, I think people just aren't really listening.
No.
They have the radio on. There's people listening to us right now, but they're not really listening.
No,
we could say anything we want. We could say balloons should be shot out of guns into the sky. And obviously that doesn't make any sense, but nobody would call us on it.
No, when you're driving to work in the morning, it's just you don't even remember the drive. You just woke up, you're trying to drink your coffee and get to the place that you probably don't even want to be at.
Yeah.
And you're thinking about that and oh my gosh, I just started my day. Yeah. Let alone us two talking on here. We are the last of the things that are going through your mind right now.
You might be thinking that this won't be quite as bad the second time around. Well, you'd be greatly mistaken. You're listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast.
We are getting to know Isaiah today because, as I keep saying, there's only so much you can learn about somebody when they're reporting the news in an unbiased manner.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of room for opinion. And when you do it the RadioU way, of course, which is the right way.
Yeah.
Which is not the way maybe some other places do it.
No, I would say not so much, probably. I probably do it a little bit differently.
Yeah. We don't want to name any names, but other news agencies with bigger budgets and more commercials and stuff.
Every other, almost.
So let's get to know you, Isaiah. We have some questions texted in. A lot of people seem to want to know, first of all, your take on Marvel or DC. Which one are you?
See, if I asked this question and you said DC, I would immediately just lose respect for you.
You would. It's that
an
extreme.
Easy
you're easily filling the void of being very controversial. You're starting
Marvel
with that.
is just, I don't know. I don't know how you could you could go the other way.
But are you coming at that purely from a movie perspective, or what about the comics. Or
so
do you
listen,
even care
I'm not
about
talking. I'm not talking comics.
Yeah.
That's a whole different thing.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, just movies by themselves. Their Marvel movies have just been so fantastic.
Yeah, I think
I love them.
When the Marvel movies came around, that makes it totally changed the playing field.
Oh yeah.
Like if we were going back to the pre-MCU, pre-Iron Man, and you're just talking DC versus Marvel comic wise and stuff, and then they each had a few movies.
Yeah.
Then it's a lot more even. But yeah, when you throw the movies into it, DC has like 2 good movies, and they aren't even the current iterations of the characters.
Yeah.
And whereas Marvel,
it's banger after banger.
Yeah,
it is just, they're all just so good.
So on that note, we got a question in from Stephanie. She wants to know your favorite Marvel movie then.
That's a good question, Stephanie. Oh my goodness. See, if I'd even my favorite Marvel character, that'd be easy, Doctor Strange.
Ah,
I
that's a good
love
one.
Doctor Strange. So his movie is one of my favorite movies.
Really?
I love the Doctor Strange movie because it was so different. It was so good. But I can't say like Endgame or Infinity War because that's just obvious. Like those were the 2 best. But if I was going to pick another one outside of those, I mean, Doctor Strange is a special part of my heart, but I mean, Thor Ragnarok was so good.
That's a good one.
That probably would be one of my favorites. I also, I don't know, Age of Ultron was really good because I loved like when they brought in Scarlet Witch.
Yeah.
That was a really good character too. So I would say either Ragnarok or maybe Age of Ultron, 2 of my favorites. But Doctor Strange solo movie, that one's probably my favorite.
That's interesting. I remember seeing Doctor Strange, and I've only seen it once.
Oh my gosh.
And I saw it in theaters. It was on election night when Donald Trump won the election. And I remember sitting before the movie. We saw it late. And I was sitting in the car. We were eating Sonic and listening to the radio. I was like, oh, it sounds like Donald Trump's going to win. And then we went in and watched Doctor Strange. It was an eventful night, to say the least.
That's a big night.
It was a big night, but I feel that we did maybe the right thing by just going to the movies and not watching election stuff all night long. But I always will remember that.
Yeah.
But that said, I don't remember loving Doctor Strange, although I do like the character, and I'm really looking forward to the new movie.
Oh, me too. I can't wait for the new movie.
I do need to go back and watch the other Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Not election night. Let's do one more here. We want to know from Abby, what is your favorite fast food place and your go-to order?
Oh, good question. I would say my favorite fast food place is probably Culver's.
Oh, okay.
I love some Culver's.
That's going off the board a little bit.
I could say like McDonald's, Wendy's, whatever. Those ones are a staple every day kind of thing. But Culver's, if I see a Culver's, that's an automatic.
Yeah?
Going there and getting a hamburger and then getting some cheese curds.
Oh,
if I'm feeling crazy, some ice cream too.
You do have to give Culver's some points for having the cheese curds.
The cheese curds are so good.
No other place I can't think of is man enough to do the cheese curds. Yeah.
Because when they do it, they're doing it. I mean, they're good cheese curds.
That's what you get when you go to a Wisconsin-based fast food
The
place.
hamburgers are untouchable. They're so much better. They're so good.
They're good. I don't know if they're my favorite, but
my favorite by far.
Culver's is up there for sure. All right, keep texting those questions in. We've got time.
Diamonds might be most girls' best friend, but for Nikki, it's DoorDash. The Riot on RadioU.
One thing that people just really want to know about you is just more and more about your Marvel tastes. And so Aaron wanted to know your favorite Marvel TV show.
Oh, that's an easy one. That's so easy. It's 100% Loki.
No, you're totally right.
Yeah, it's 100% Loki. It was the best, by far the best story, and the one that connects the most going forward, you would say.
Yeah.
But yeah, by far Loki. There's not even an argument for that, I don't think.
My question for you is, Loki, with the ending, I guess there's still people out there that might be working their way through it. I was just telling you how Falcon and Winter Soldier got spoiled for me before the end, so I don't want that to happen to anybody else. But do you feel at the end of Loki that you were just left hanging with way too much that wasn't explained or wasn't filled in by the end of the show?
See, at the end of the show, oh my gosh, I would say there was obviously they have to leave it on like a cliffhanger like that.
No, they don't.
They have to.
No, they don't.
They have to. That's literally what Marvel does.
That's what a show is.
That's
it's a
what
beginning and a middle and an end.
That's what like every end credit scene is. It's just like, here's a little bit of information, but we want you to come back.
It's different if you end the show and then there's something after the credits or something that's like, and here's what you're going to see next. But that's not what they did with Loki.
See, that's how they get you to be talking about it like 3 months after the last episode. Like, we're still talking about it right now.
Right.
And the only reason is because of that last episode.
Yeah. I just like when I get in a story, whether it's a movie or a TV show, I like a beginning, a middle, and end. And the one thing that frustrates me with Marvel, like, look,
there's never an end.
You can still tie things together.
Yeah.
And you can still, and we're still all going to keep watching whether you put in these annoying cliffhangers or not. So just give us kind of some closure with the shows and TV and movies. That's all I'm asking for.
Yeah.
Let's see. So many people, you got to let the people know your favorite RadioU band and song and stuff like that.
Yeah, for band-wise, I don't know. It'd probably be like That Therapy's up there. I'm like an OG 21 Pilots. Love 21 Pilots. So, I mean, that's just an easy one. Favorite song-wise right now, though, I mean, I don't know. Nightbird, Girl in a Bubble.
Yeah?
Absolutely fire.
Do you feel like a girl in a bubble?
I feel like just a big old boy in a bubble just walking around.
You're a bubble boy.
A bubble boy. I love that song. I love that song. And then pretty much anything by NF. I loved NF.
This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Isaiah, we know you're a sports guy, but are you a hockey guy?
I am a Blue Jackets fan.
Yeah?
I do like me some Blue Jackets.
Do you watch as much as our resident Blue Jackets fan, Sydney, does?
No chance.
She watches every single game.
No chance. Do not compare my fandom to Sydney's because that's not even, doesn't do her any respect.
It was crazy when I walked in here to RadioU, or I guess when Sydney walked in, because I think she came slightly after I did. And all of a sudden, I wasn't the biggest hockey fan in the building anymore.
Yeah.
That I've never in my life been somewhere where I wasn't the biggest hockey fan until Sydney showed up. She's so into the
Different
Blue
breed.
Jackets. Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. But for you and Sydney and for all of us, as we start watching hockey, not this year, but next year in 2022, they are going to start putting ads on jerseys. How do you feel about that?
Can we just like have something? Just like something
that's safe from the ads?
that we just, it's literally
We
safe.
do. It's RadioU.
Yeah, it's RadioU. This is the only place, so cherish it.
Yeah.
Because like everywhere you look, there's an ad. They even said that they approved for helmets.
Yeah. The
Like,
helmets
what?
showed up. The helmet showed up this year.
Yeah, I know.
And that was, I guess that wasn't too much of a big deal.
No, I mean,
But
a jerk like
that is, what's happening is the total, do you know the frog in boiling water story?
No.
Like, you can't just throw a frog into a boiling pot because it'll jump right out. But if you put a frog in a pot of water and then just slowly turn up the heat, all of a sudden the frog is boiling and it's too late.
Yep.
That's what's happening. We're just slowly, we're like, yeah, the ads on the boards, the ads on the ice.
Just the helmets.
Just on the helmets. It's not a big deal. Ads on the jerseys, fine. And before you know it, the teams are going to be named the Wachovia Investments.
Yeah, exactly.
And we're going to be it's like, go Investments. And yeah, that's not what we want. We've got to put a stop to it at some point. And I think we've missed the mark. It's too late now.
It is too late. And when you think about these professional teams, like it's not like the NHL was like starving for money either.
No.
Like there's just such a money grab for them to be like, oh yeah, just we have them everywhere else. Just throw them on the jerseys too. Why stop there, you know?
And we see this in so many instances in life that it's not, if the NHL was starving for money, there could be cutbacks. And I don't even mean employees, just like, well, maybe don't have the most expensive whatever. I don't know.
Maybe we don't need 6 jerseys and 4 alternatives, you know?
Absolutely right. Now, some could argue that maybe they're making so much money selling the extra different jerseys.
True, that's true.
That maybe that's a smart business move. But I know what you're saying. I get what you're...
There's places that you can get money from.
Yeah. You can reduce and reuse in certain instances instead of just trying to find more and more ways to make money. But yeah, it's too late. We're on the road, a dangerous, dangerous road to having big issues with the NHL and where it's going to start looking like soccer, right? The Red Bulls, that's a soccer team, right?
And like when you think about the jerseys too, like the jerseys are like such a special part of the game. Like you want to have like such a cool jersey, and hockey jerseys are already so cool. But if you start putting like big advertisements on it, like it just makes it so not nearly as cool. Like it just doesn't look as good, as clean as it could if you just had like a little thing in the corner. But I know these things are going to grow, and then before you know it, Like it's going to be the actual logo of the team. It's going to look a Nike sign,
That's
and then it's going to be
exactly
a huge advertisement across their chest.
Yep, we're dead on this one. We need to put a stop to it, but again, we're just two men, and it's already probably too late because we've let it go this far.
They want their money.
There's no stopping it. So get ready to start cheering for your local insurance banker. Because that's going to be the name of your hockey team soon enough.
It was bad enough the first time around, but now it's worse. Don't believe us? Just keep listening. You'll find out soon enough. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Now, I've got a question for you.
Yes.
What is the first thing that comes to mind when I say OnlyFans?
The first thing that comes to mind? I don't really know. You know, when you think about OnlyFans, I don't know, nudity?
Nudity? Nope, that's wrong.
That cannot be wrong.
No, it's not. It's not nudity.
Men?
Men? What?
Females?
Yeah. It's not that. It's not porn. It's not graphic content. It's not NSFW. None of those words should come to mind.
Really?
Not when you're talking to the people of OnlyFans, the people behind the app.
What are they saying? What could it possibly be?
Well, they want you to think of their other content, of their
other
cooking, fitness, comedians, music.
Comedians?
That's what OnlyFans wants you to think about.
What is OnlyFans think they're Twitch or something? Like, what is this?
They are going through a rebrand where, to be clear, I think the nudity is still going to stay. It's not like they're banning all of those creators, but what they are doing is actually, in many cases, partnering with those creators to create non-nude content.
What? That doesn't, like, how do you even do that? Like, how do you go from doing the pride that they were doing before and then be like, actually, we're going to have you guys, like, maybe try doing some cooking and some fitness. And
you
got any of you funny? We could do, like, a comedian thing. Wow.
It is a new app. It's coming to you can now get OnlyFans on your Roku, on your Amazon Fire, on your iOS device, and it will not feature nudity. Okay. It will literally, I don't know, maybe you can hack it if you really were that interested, but it is not supposed to feature the nude part of OnlyFans. It is now going to be a streaming channel with 100% safe for work content that is
safe for work.
Again, like they're partnering with creators such as Holly Madison, Bella Thorne, Mia Khalifa, which again, at least some of them I'm pretty sure have appeared naked and on the site before for the right price. And they are saying that these people are going to be doing cooking shows and stuff like that.
You can really get to know them, you know?
Yeah, right. Get to know a different side of them. That is what OnlyFans is. They are rolling this out and trying to really rebrand themselves, which is a very surprising thing. Well, I mean, I guess
is this like a subscription thing? Like, do you still have to pay for this, or is this free?
You know what? That's actually a good point because you would think that's kind of how OnlyFans, I think, works.
Yeah.
But no, this is something you can at least download the app for free, and then I don't know if you have to pay if it's OnlyFans and you have to pay to get the cooking. I don't know. But
you had to pay to get the everything else.
It's a surprise. It feels like back in the day, Playboy magazine, the joke was always people that would say like, "Oh, I'm not looking at the pictures. I would never," but I read the articles. That's why I get Playboy.
Yeah.
And this
is what they're doing.
It feels like, "Oh, I would never subscribe for the nude content, but I'd love to see the
cooking.
OnlyFans is where I go for cooking."
It's the cooking. So if I come around the corner at work and I see Hudson has OnlyFans pulled up,
yes.
I'm going to be like, what are you doing?
I think some questions are going to be raised. If that's the situation.
But I'm just streaming. It's just cooking. It's cooking.
One day, this is crazy to think about. There may be a world where if OnlyFans is successful in this, people don't even remember that OnlyFans had a nudity on it. They're just going to think, this is where the good cooking shows are.
What a world that will be.
This is where you could hear Guy Fieri on OnlyFans and you'd be like, that makes sense. It wouldn't be like, oh my gosh, what's going on?
Yeah, what's happening now?
What's gone wrong with Guy Fieri?
Why pay for so many streaming services that you don't really care about when you can not really care about the riot for free? RadioU.
Now, Isaiah, you've seen the stories coming out, right, of the people getting duct taped on airplanes?
Of course, yes.
Yeah, they've been in the news. For the people lucky enough to actually get on airplanes lately, sometimes they've wound up getting duct taped. Well, United Airlines just sent out a memo to their employees, and they want all of their flight attendants to know you are not supposed to use duct tape to restrain people.
It's like just like a, hey, everybody, just so we know, let's just try not to use that. Like, I feel like that's the first day of training.
Yeah.
Should we even have to say that?
Well,
like, of all things, like, why? Number one, I understand you don't have a lot of things on a plane in general, but like a lot of things to be able to restrain someone
with planes, you can't just. It's not like you can just run to the other room and get something else. It's just.
What are you using duct tape for anyway on a plane? Like, what is going to fix? What's duct tape doing for you?
You wonder why they just have the duct tape handy. What else are they using to fix with it? Is that, you got a loose fuel hose or something, and you're like, I've got just
good thing we've got the duct tape.
Yeah. It doesn't feel like that passes inspection.
No, not at all. Like, oh, yeah, just throw some duct tape on it, I guess.
Yeah, but so they are saying, yes, you want to not use duct tape, but instead use alternative methods of de-escalating the situation if you can't come to an agreement on an agreement. I like.
What's an agreement? There's no agreement.
Yeah, you're getting on the plane and
Sit
you
down.
agree. If you're being belligerent, there's no agreement.
If you're being bad, you're going to get treated badly.
Yeah,
that's just the rule.
That's how it works. But apparently, treated badly should not include being duct taped, according to United Airlines. So I don't know what their alternative is, because they say they want you to educate the customer about safety-related policies, and if you can't, then you should follow regular de-escalation and training procedures and always use their best judgment. I think that the duct taping on the planes happens infrequently enough that they probably are using their best judgment, right?
Yeah, you think so. I mean, when you see the videos, these people are out of control.
Yeah.
I mean, they're a hazard for everybody on the plane. United also said, the overwhelming majority of our customers have just been on their best behavior and returned to our flights with confidence and enthusiasm.
Yeah, but we're not duct taping the overwhelming majority of
exactly,
us.
like 95% of the time, like everybody's good, but that 5%, like these unruly people, like you have to do something with them.
Yeah, I feel like they should. There should be a standard of something else that the flight attendants can have and they can use that maybe isn't duct tape, because duct tape just feels so unofficial, unprofessional.
Yeah.
It feels that it doesn't quite meet the standards of what you would hope for. It should at least be like United Airlines branded duct tape or something like that.
The people, like, they aren't even, it's not like there's like crazy, like these people obviously like are crazy or whatever that are getting duct taped down, but they didn't get on that plane thinking that they were going to get duct taped down. Like, it's not like these people are like criminals or anything. Typically, they're just people that are being like, oh, I want the aisle seat, whatever, and are causing a ruckus. And like, we're not like putting down like murderers on the plane or anything. Like, they're getting taped down like that. I feel like you shouldn't have to restrain someone like that on the plane. Like, can't these people just like be normal, like not be crazy on the plane?
No, they definitely can't.
They can't control themselves.
There are reasons that we don't know that people go wild on airplanes. And that's the thing. You just cannot, you can't reason with them, I don't think.
No, and so, I mean, duct tape isn't the best way, but I mean, you have to do, like, how else do you get someone, you have to be like, dude, can you just be like, just chill out, man.
Yeah.
Chill out on the plane. There's like a million people on this thing. Nobody else is happy on here. We all want to get off.
Yep.
You're making it 10 times worse.
Yeah, I mean, we all understand that, but the person that's causing the scene on the airplane, there's a reason they're causing the scene, and it's because they don't get it in the first place for whatever reason, whether they had a few too many of the Bloody Marys on the plane or whatever it is. They're going hard there.
They need that aisle seat.
There's no way. There's no way to reason with them at that point. So, United Airlines, maybe the flights are about to get a little more ruckus.
It's going to get a little crazier.
Yep,
no duct tape anymore.
No duct. That means you can do whatever you want.
You can do anything.
You go on the United plane, you do whatever you want. They're not going to restrain you. They're going to calmly try to de-escalate.
You've made it all the way to the end of the Worst of the Riot. This show only exists because of support from listeners like you. Find out more and help out at RadioU.com/donate.